I got this news story out of Yahoo News, and it just been printed out maybe a few days ago, and it just showed up on my news feed, and I say to myself, this is something I must talk about because it's very, very prevalent. The man that you see on the left of the screen, his name is Allendale Edward, and he's 44 years old, and he just got sentenced to 46 years behind bars, for I think his ex-wife, murdering his ex-wife, who is the lady that's on the screen. And I'm gonna go ahead and read the article and give the rest of my commentary on this. A Texas man took matters into his own hands after his ex-wife girlfriend broke his window, chasing them at high speed down the highway before shooting his former partner dead and punching the other woman so hard she needed reconstructive surgeries, prosecutors said. My Jesus. Allendale, 44, was sentenced Tuesday to 46 years behind bars for the March 2016 murder of ex-wife Kiana Gardiner, 29, according to Harris County Court records. He was convicted of murder after a jury on October 31st, but filed to appeal the decision on November 3rd per court records. Per Texas law on aggravated felony firearm cases, he would be eligible for parole only after serving half his sentence. Simone Macy Gardiner, romantic partner who was punched by Edwards after he took Gardner's life, told Fox News Digital that he will do whatever she can to make sure they don't let him out before his sentence over. Hold on, Gardner's. So she was in a lesbian relationship. I got kind of confused with this. Simone Macy, Gardiner's romantic partner, who was punched by it. So she was in a lesbian relationship after the split. Okay, that's what it sounds like. All right, let me continue. I got kind of confused there, so bear with me, please. They have a right to appeal. There's always appeal, but that doesn't mean they'll go out, Macy say on Saturday. Kiana can't come back. The media and everyone else doesn't know what we dealt with from this guy. I feel like he needs to be locked up a little longer than that. Yeah, I broke a window, Macy continued. Do I feel like my action on that night were right? No, but I didn't kill anyone. He did. Edward Gardiner, who had two children together, aged 3 and 5 at the time of the killing, had a acrimonious relationship calibrated by child custody dispute, District Attorney Kim Ogg wrote in press release Thursday. The couple had been living apart for 3 years when the tension reached their climax on March 19, 2016. Domestic violence can take a lot of different forms, but too often we see it escalate into murder, Ogg said. There is absolutely no reason this man, ex-wife, and the mother of his children should be dead. Okay. And I see a picture of her and her girlfriend. Yes, she was in a lesbian relationship. In August 2014, Gardiner was charged for trespassing on Edwards' property per a criminal complaint. At the time, Edward told police officers that he had been having problems with Gardiner, which include harassment, disturbance, and criminal mischief, and that Gardner had been criminal trespass warnings on his property on 2 occasions. Macy, who was there at the time of the incident, per Baytown Police Department record, told Fox News Digital that Gardiner was trying to pick up belongings from the resident. Gardiner was released on $500 bail and the case against her was ultimately dismissed after she was convicted of misdemeanor theft by stealing two phones from Walmart. October 2014 per Harris County court documents. Gardiner pleaded nolo contendere and served about 15 months of probation. Meanwhile, per letter penned to the court by a Gardiner employee at Medical Plaza Mobile Surveillance, Edward repeatedly placed calls to the woman during her work hours. After witnessing how upsetting and destructive Edward calls were to Miss Kenya Gardiner, our supervisor and I began to intercept his call. The call started around the beginning of August 2013 and will range between 2 and 3 a week, sometimes multiple times a day. Man, they had a toxic relationship from the sounds of it. Man, my goodness. The taunting call, sometimes made under false name to bypass employees' attempt to keep him from reaching the woman, continued until at least February 2014 per the letter. Gardiner was allegedly in the passenger seat minutes before March 2016 death when her friend drove to Edward's home on the north edge of Galveston Bay in Baytown around 3 a.m., according to documents. Macy picked up a aerosol can and swung it at Edward's window, breaking the glass. Prosecutors said Gardiner was asleep in the passenger seat when the glass smashed. Early that night, Macy told Fox News Digital that Gardiner went to her cousin's birthday party at the bar. Although it was unclear who placed the first phone call, she said that she and Edward began exchanging heated calls, texts reviewed by Fox News Digital. I was telling him that I wish he would leave us alone. I was saying some mean thing at the time. He was telling me, come over here before I beat your head and come get it. Macy recalled, I made the stupid decision to go over there because I was fed up with what was going on. I was so upset, I went over there and grabbed a can and I bust the window. Upon hearing the glass shattered, Edward told his mother to call. So her so-called girlfriend is the cause of that. Come to think about it, if she did it. Upon hearing the glass shattered, Edward told his mother to call the police, grab a handgun, and rush outside. As the woman peeled away in their white SUV, the Baytown Police Department wrote in a press release at the time Edwards gave chase. The two cars raced down Highway 146 toward Fred Hartman Bridge that leads from Baytown to the northern portion of neighborhood La Porte. Edward fired his first shot through the driver's side window while the vehicle was still moving, prosecutors wrote. Then Edward reportedly cut off the other car and stopped short, causing the two women to clash into the back of his car. The impact, Macy say, woke up sleeping Gardiner. He sideswiped us going under the light and pulled in front of us. It seems like everything was slow motion yet going fast until he got out of the car with the gun, Macy recalled. Edward's next shot struck Gardiner in the chest, killing her immediately. He walked around the driver's side and punched Macy in the face, causing damage that had to be surgically repaired. Officers in the area almost immediately responded to the scene per the police report release. Chaos unfolded in the minutes before they arrived, though. The third vehicle crashed into the woman's vehicle, Baytown police say, and an uninvolved 50-year-old man, Marco Peralta, I think he's Hispanic, I'm guessing, reportedly got out of his car to direct traffic around the wreck. But 28-year-old Anthony Arnatria did not see the Good Samaritan in the road, reported striking and killing him in the scene. Anatra was later charged with misdemeanor driving without driving with influence, which was later upgraded due to earlier drunken driving charge, police say. Edward was charged later that night per Baytown police and jail in Leo. $50,000 bail court documents show. He took matters into his own hands, Assistant Attorney Ashley Sheridan said in court. Local outlet Click Houston. Local outlet. He admitted that he was chasing them down and he should have just let the law enforcement handle it. The accused killer will plead not guilty in Harris County Court per court records obtained by Fox News Digital, although his initial court date was set for September 25th, 2017. His attorney, Peter Justin, filed multiple continuance with juries list for the defense and prosecution established this October. It was unclear why the case was delayed and Fox Digital could not reach Justin for comment at press time. Dating back in 1999, Edward has been charged with possession of marijuana 6 times. Once, I don't want to read that. That's his background. But there's a quote saying, Kenya was actually a wonderful person, smart, caring, loving person. Macy told Fox News Digital, she just wanted to live her life outside of that situation. She just wanted to be able to live a normal life like everybody else did. That's what she was trying to do, get out of that. But you put her in that situation. But anyway, the article ends there. People, I'm going to just say this. Sometimes when you have certain ill feelings towards a person, it's best for you to get out that situation. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you and that person already have y'all just have some kind of a tension where it's very heated. Both y'all could just snap and you may not be in control of yourself. And stuff like that could happen. 2 people lost their life. His ex-wife, who also the mother of 2 of the kids. Now the kids don't have neither parents because the father's in jail and the mother's dead. And those were young kids at the time. And the Good Samaritan who got hit with a drunk driver for directing traffic because of the wreck. That action caused the lives of multiple people. And I actually blame Macy, who was her girlfriend. And I seen pictures of her on that article that I read. She one of those studs, but it's one of those studs that they can pass for a woman, but kind of studdish. This guy gave them a warning. If you come near my area, I'm going to bust your brain out, because they was already having a back and forth argument, and from the way how the relationship sounded, it sounded pretty toxic. But no, her pride want to get in the car. I'm gonna show him who he's dealing with. Getting in the car, drove over to where he at, take an aerosol can and bust his glass. And I understand, you're dating her and you're in a relationship with her, your lesbian love affair. That's his car, has nothing to do with anything. In fact, that's none of your business. You just a girlfriend, somebody you choose to date. Their beef and situation is none of your business. You drag her into a situation, caused her to get killed. And from what you say, she was asleep. She didn't even know that she was, which it don't make sense. You decided to get in the car and decided to go to sleep, while she confronting this man who's already pissed off with her, and decide to bust the window in the car and think he won't retaliate. And that's the reason why her stud girlfriend got the brakes beat off her. Let me tell you something. You think just because you're a stud and you also keep that role as being a woman that no guy ain't gonna hit you? Yeah, I mean, anybody can just snap, especially when it comes to like cars. Yeah, he had a gun. I mean, he's ready to kill. I don't know if that was like the heat of the moment, or it was premeditated. He was planning on killing. But you don't even know the guy that well. The last thing you're going to do is take your happy self over to his house to bust his window. Now this by me all this isn't me trying to blame the victim and blame somebody who passed or died. But sometimes when you're dealing with certain people, especially if you're in a new relationship with certain people, you see how unhinged they are. It's best not to be with them. You see that person just is willing to put themselves in a situation where violence can happen. There's no need to be with them. You want to avoid violence. You want to avoid confrontation because confrontation can escalate until something bad happens and it can cause the death of her. Sometimes we need to put emotions aside. I understand we all got emotions. I understand we get angry, we get upset, especially if it's got something to do with a toxic relationship where you might have your heart broken or you feeling hurt or you felt like you felt bad about something. I can understand that. But for one, Macy don't really have anything to do with that. So I'm just guessing it's her so-called girlfriend, which I say so-called because she got no business getting involved in their business. Call the police if you feel that way. But don't take yourself over there to put your own self in danger. And now she had to get her face reconstructed, which costs a lot of money. It's best to leave well enough alone. Like with me, for example, I've been on a few dates and I actually been in a few relationships where I've been with a female who had a boyfriend and they already broke up. She broke up with him, and he can't stop calling and texting and calling and texting. I was gonna jump in. I say, yo, if you call and text her again, I'm gonna whoop your ass. I was gonna say that, but little did I know, this dude. I think he might have been arrested because he did something crazy. He did something like drastic. This dude was insane, but I think he was a war vet. Like he'd been in like Iraq war, which means he had like PTSD, and he was a very he just couldn't let go. And this dude is willing to stalk and kill people. He just got arrested. That's when I heard. I don't know much about him, but I was going to say, you know what, I'm gonna have to stay clear of you until you get that straight. But little did I know he was in jail. He just got sent to jail for doing something dangerous. I'm not going to get myself in the middle of what she had going on. I understand that's your woman, you protect them. Yeah, I understand protect her and defend yourself. That's a woman I dating. Yeah, I understand. But if it doesn't have anything to do with you, stay out of that. After all, she a girlfriend, not my wife. I'm dating, I'm courting, I'm getting to know her. And that's what that lesbian woman should have done. Now her face would no longer look the same. She'd probably have a hard time, I guess, attracting other lesbian women. And also, she caused the death of her girlfriend, and she has 2 kids already by this man. And now the young kids is going probably grieving, are orphans now. Because one thing I know, I don't care how upset you may get with a person. I'm just going, like, say for instance, if I have a wife and we no longer work out, we separate and split. The last thing I want to do is see my wife killed, is dead, because believe it or not, it affects the children much worse than it affects us. They want to see their mom okay. They want to see their mom happy. They happy more. They love their mom a lot more. And in fact, most parents, I don't understand, many of you got kids and stuff. You love your kids more than you love yourself. That's how it usually is. We love our kids more than we love ourselves. It's to the point where we're willing to put our life on the line to make sure our kids are safe because they are our legacy. And the kids now are, those two kids no longer have a parents. They're going to be put in the system. And all that has to do with one spouse want to hurt the other spouse. But I'm glad I'm glad he got sentenced, because he really didn't have to shoot nobody. I understand that he didn't have to do it. There's many ways he could have done, but I can understand the heat of the passion when a person is angry and they willing to. Of course, I don't justify what he did, but I see that. Of course, I'd be real furious if somebody busts my window out. But it's a thing called insurance, and she's gonna have to pay for it. That's the smart thing to do. Don't get angry and want to take it out and just start shooting. We all gotta let go of our pride and use our brains for a minute, put our emotions aside, and just think logic. I hope you all get some lessons out of that, and also remember, the mind is much stronger than the emotions. Please like, share, and subscribe this video, and I'll be back on here to give another commentary.